Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to A Song of Tara, our Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition Chronicle. So you join us for our, I don't even know what number of session. Like,
14.
How many weeks have we been playing? 14.
This is the 14th, I believe.
It's been going
Or is it the 15th? It might be the 15th.
a decently long time then. Anyway, Much like last time, I am joined this time by everyone. So hi everyone, how have you been doing?
Am I everyone?
Yeah, I guess you're part of everyone.
Okay, so I'm someone. Well, I'm doing okay.
She isn't part of me.
Except Joan inside you, Hille.
I feel so hurt.
Okay, you have a sliver of my heart.
Okay, thank you.
Tiny one.
Tiny one. That's okay, I can settle for a little.
One slice of a CT scan.
Ooh, yeah, okay, that's thin. Okay, ladies and gentle creatures, we need we do need a recap.
It's true, stuff happened last time.
Stuff happened last time. I think we should let our group's leader retell this, and I think that the leader was, if not settled last time, then certainly pointed in Aaron's direction.
I won't speak to that, but yes, as a player, I feel like that. I feel like that's the case too. But we will see what happens in character, of course, when we finally decide to choose an alpha.
For sure.
However, last time, basically what happened was we traveled to we entered the spiritscape to find out who was this water spirit that had appeared before us, saying it was getting strangled. We found out that the water spirit was Liffey. So we went to the river, walked up and down in the river, trying to find some hint of foul play. Trying to find anywhere where it looked like the river was being harmed more than usual. Just to see if it was like an emergency. And turns out that there were some trucks pumping water out of the river. Trucks that worked for like a local water purification and research company. Who were, of course, this company was a Pentex-owned subsidiary, naturally. So we interfered with and stopped them draining water. But by that point, a lot of the water had already been drained out of the river and brought to their research plant. During our attempt to get the trucks to stop draining the water, we noticed that Shiva's dad was working for this particular company, which of course like kind of limited us in our methods of approach as far as our moral justification went. Eventually, we got they left, the workers left the trucks just sitting there because we'd dismantled them. We'd wrecked them in such a manner that they couldn't continue their work. And shortly thereafter, the trucks blew up. In clearly an act of reprisal for our interference.
What are you talking about? It's terrorists.
Yeah, it's obviously totally terrorists. Yeah,
absolutely.
But we went into the spiritscape to see if we can contact Liffey. And it worked. We wound up being able to contact her by purifying some of the water temporarily by just burning away pollutants with noses. And she told us that some of her waters had been stolen, and they were going to poison it horrifically and pump it back into her, slaying her. So, in an attempt to prevent that, we rushed off, following the trail of the stolen water, until we reached the water quote-unquote purification plant in question that was guarded by a semi heavily defended perimeter, and also had like this huge towering monolithic form of a Nexus crawler in its immediate vicinity. The Nexus crawler being horribly drained of some of its essence, probably to to fuel the poisons that are going to be injected into the waters before they get pumped back into Liffey. The Nexus Crawler has left, but we of course still need to get into the facility and get the waters. And essentially what we did was we were biding our time, looking for the right window to strike, and then we did so, taking the guards by surprise and fighting our way through to and through the entranceway to the facility. And we stopped just as you were going to tell us, storyteller, what we were actually looking at.
Yes, indeed.
Before we do that, we should address whether or not someone has any thoughts about something that happened last session that they find relevant to their character or somehow significant to the development of their character that they want to bring up so we can keep it fresh in our minds as we start this session.
Yes. Good idea.
Anyone?
Doesn't sound like it. Anything from yourself?
No, not in particular. I do recall. I mean, yes, of immediate relevance is that Aaron is pretty wounded right now. He's at 5 health levels of lethal damage. I mean, it's not that much of a wound for a werewolf. It's it's an annoyance. But it's going to heal soon enough. But he took that wound, taking a bullet for Shiva.
Yeah,
that is true.
I guess that's somewhat relevant to his situation, although it's perhaps not as relevant to how he's presently thinking, because he's kind of eyes on the prize mode right now.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's a thing that happened.
It should also be mentioned for our listeners that the anti-mook battle last time, which we handled with some quick homebrewed rules, have led to the creation of an actual... We've attempted to create some house rules. Daniel has done so, and he's run over what he suggested. He ran over with me. It has been so far. I've said let's try the system that he has created. Let's try and use that, and that is going to be a combat system which is going to be implemented for battles that are like the one that happened last time, where these Guru go up against, nameless masses of cannon fodder, because quite frankly, I don't see any particular point in spending 3 hours rolling dice over and over and over again for a battle which is going to be a one-sided affair anyway. It takes too long, and it's pointless. So in order to keep the story flowing, this system will allow us to do so with a minimum of dice rolling, and you will probably see it when we get to it.
Disclaimer. Hopefully it will allow us to do that. It hasn't actually been play tested yet.
Well, I'm sure it will.
So, thank you. I appreciate your vote of confidence. But yeah,
well,
so we
and
have
also means that if it doesn't, I'm going to dock you XP for a month.
No! It's fine. So yeah, we have a hack.
You just stop Daniel and not the rest of us?
Yeah, of course. In that case, it'll only be Daniel docked, because it's only his responsibility.
Because that's fair.
I would like to chime in, actually.
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned, Daniel, Aaron took a blow for Shiva. And that has left her feeling a lot of different things. Both good and bad. Because basically, while she's like, oh my god, he took a blow for me, she's also, hey, what the fuck, don't you trust me? And she refuses to be pushed into the role of the chick. So she's a bit all over the place emotionally.
I look forward
even
to
more
that
so than she was before.
And you know what? You know what? That's really chick-like of her to be emotionally all over the place.
Shh, don't tell her that.
Oh, that's just going to confuse her even further. All right, so we're just about ready.
Yep. All right. Well, so if no one else has anything they want to bring up, maybe we should have a look at the scene we'll be walking into. Also, actually, this should be mentioned. Just one quick thing is remember, you guys, that some of you have temporary willpower because Aaron spent his use of his inspiration gift last session. So remember, you got that point, and you have that point all throughout this engagement with like this water facility. Like in our attack on this facility, you have that point. And I think Heine has razor claws out for that duration too.
For the duration of this scene, meaning the assaults on the facility, yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Cool. And Helle has, I say Helle, I mean Connell and Fenna. Fenna, you have lightning reflexes activated, right?
Yep.
Cool. Just to remind people, because I seem to remember gifts being activated. Alright, so, let's play some A Song of Tara. So we throw open the gates to the facility, and what?
Yeah, as you open the the double doors, the gates, you look in on an odd sight where the insides are actually strangely clinically clean. It's not, like dripping with ooze and disgusting putrefaction and such. It's actually rather clean on the inside of this plant.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 huge vats, absolutely massive things, and they're partly dug into the ground, and it's pretty clear that those are the ones holding the waters. These 2 vats are connected by a number of tubes and pipes and whatnot, apparently pumping water from one to the other and back again in a constant flow. That is how much that's what you can see from the door of the interior. There are a number of walkways leading over these vats. There are passages between. I mean, they don't take up the entire room, so that you're not able to actually get in. You can walk past them on the floor as well if you want to. You can't see any guards.
Is there anything, like, as we stand here looking into the facility, we see, like, the 2 giant vats, one or both of them probably holding what we're here for. Mm-hmm. Is there, like, where does this room lead? Is there, like, an obvious, like, second level control room with a panoramic view of the main floor? Or is there, like, some place where the process would be managed from that we can designate as our immediate strike target?
Well, your immediate strike target should probably be the vats, in that they are the ones holding the waters that is going to get poisoned. You can't see where the poison is being administered from.
All right. So, in a nutshell, and I think we talked about this last time, right, guys? About, like, how exactly did we mean to, quote unquote, like, get the water? Did we just, like, mean to take it and bring it back to Liffey, or would we, like, just make sure they didn't have it, or were we going to, like, try and purify it and then transport it back, or what was the plan?
Well, I'm certain we had some sort of plan.
I agree.
I don't recall the exact plan, but I think it'd be it wouldn't be effective to plan anything before we know the layouts and how these vats are being and the water is being stored and controlled. And that's what we know now. Well, some of it at least. We don't know where where a potential control room is or anything. But until we do, I think it'd be silly of us to say we want this to happen or we want that to happen.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, the goal here was the number one goal was to stop any further poisoning of the water and then see what can be done from there.
Yeah. So control room thingy.
How about you, AJ?
The idea was that we should find out how much they've polluted it, if it could be saved. If not, then what?
Right, so we want to get a look in and see like what's happened to the water before we do anything else.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically speaking, because we're in a situation where I believe they had like 16 trucks of water brought to the facility.
No. 13.
13 trucks brought to the
3
facility.
blew up.
That's true. So
Aaron can carry that.
we can't transport 13 trucks worth of anything, right? Because even if we parted one each, we're still only up to 6. So I think discounting the possibility of us going back and forth multiple times, which doesn't seem likely considering we're deep behind enemy lines in... Basically, like, us attacking this place is probably going to lead to them reinforcing it, right? Before we can do anything significant like driving back and forth a billion times. So how do you guys feel about just spilling the waters and letting it drain into the earth and then having Livy have it back in that way?
Depends on how polluted it is. I don't want to give it back to her if, it's filled with the blood ick thingy.
Right, then yeah, that's definitely the first way to go then. Then first place to go would be some form of control room if we can find one. Or some way in which we can... A place or way in which we can assess what has happened to the water.
Yes. Well, you can't see a control room from the door, but I'm assuming then that you are basically entering the facilities?
Yeah, like moving across the floor.
Yeah. Right. Well, as you move between the vats, you can see a control room on the other side. It's up high on the wall. There's a small lift going up there. It won't fit more than one of you and Krenos at a time.
Is there manual access like stairs from somewhere?
No.
Okay. Is the facade scalable?
No, it's steel.
So strictly speaking, yes, but very hard.
Well, all right, fair enough. Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, I don't know. What do you guys do when I'm imagining we all kind of everyone's head just turns and we all look at the control room at once, share a look like jackpot, and then what happens?
I think Connell starts moving toward the lifts. Immediately.
You can hear an intercom crackling.
Oh.
Is it perhaps calling the guards or something?
No, it crackles as if somebody switches it on, basically. And,
where is the intercom?
All over, apparently. You can hear it up from under the ceiling.
So it's meant to be able to address the floor.
Exactly. Precisely. It's meant to be able to send a message to whatever workers might be here.
Cool.
And you hear a voice that you've all heard relatively recently, in a rather bored tone of voice, saying, "Well, I did say immortality by another name."
Oh, that fucking bitch.
You can kill me 100 times, and I assure you I will still be here. What is your pointless task today? Destroying this facility to prevent the destruction of Little? Are you so foolish that you think we do not have any number of secondary plans?
So I'm imagining like this is happening. Connell is moving towards the lift.
Yes.
I don't really want any one of us going alone. So would it be possible for like if Connell steps onto the lift, could one of us then like grab onto it as it's going up and just like be raised up with it?
Or could it fit a Krenos and a Hispo?
No. That's still very large. A Hispo is basically almost the size of a Krenos, just on all fours. It's like I'd say three quarters of the same size. It's a massive hulking beast. But it's it would be possible to do what Daniel said if the lift can lift that much, if it can actually has that carrying capacity. That's
only one way to find out.
Are you calling us fat?
So
I'm calling you Krinos.
I'm working from the assumption here that Connell is showing no sign of slowing down, but that he's moving towards the lift.
Yes,
That would be correct.
In that case, Aaron kind of motions for Fenna to follow him. I guess not necessarily Fenna, because Fenna might be in Hispo, right?
She is.
All right. So is anyone else in a form that would be able to latch on and continue up with the lift, working from the assumption that it could carry you? Who else has thumbs?
Well, I'm in Krinos. I don't remember if those are thumbs. I assume they have.
they do.
Right. So, and you're the only one aside from Aaron?
I guess.
All right.
Maybe
Isn't Taliesin in Quinn's?
I don't know. I'm not hearing anything from Chris.
Trying to get the microphone off to prevent echo. I thought I was in Glabro.
Maybe you are.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I seem to recall that everyone was in either Hispo or Krinos when you attacked.
Yeah, me too.
Then
Glabro is, or was, quite simply not powerful enough for going in.
If that's big of an issue, Taran can just change and follow him.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, that's actually a very good point. That is a very good point. So as Connell is moving towards that, I think Aaron motions for Taran to follow him. And kind of like, as motions to her to provide him backup and to follow along to the control room, because if there's anyone we want in the control room, it'll be Taran.
Alright.
Yeah.
Taran
That's actually a really good point. Yep. All right. There's Echo now.
All right, so so with those guys going up there, is there like could the rest of us in any way like move on to the web of gangways up and above, getting as close as possible to the control room?
It looks like the only way onto those gangways is from the outside. There are doors on the outside.
Could we scale it from the
leading,
inside?
yeah.
Through
Again,
via pipes and so on?
Yeah, you know what? Yes, I'll say you can do that.
Cool.
So you can get up to the walkways, but that doesn't lead to the control room.
I need to ask this question because it worked last time I did. Could we come to a place whereby we might be able to make a leap through to the control room?
No, there are too many pipes and hoses and stuff in the way when you get up there. There's no place where you can jump across. It's not the distance; it's the clutter in between.
All right, and that I'm assuming that it is clutter enough that we won't be able to make the jump, but it is also small enough that it wouldn't be able to support us, thereby not providing us the opportunity to actually just use that to leap further on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They're all they're relatively thin tubes and so on, so it's it wouldn't be able to support your body weight.
Okay, so Aaron motions for us to basically like scale the pipage and so on and get onto the gangways, because in my mind, when I'm envisioning this huge factory-esque working floor, I'm imagining that the moment some guards with automatic weapons get onto those walkways and we're down here, we're cannon fodder. So us being up there is probably better. And it also might, give us the chance to, if the guys have to jump through the window of the fucking control room, then we might be able to extend a hand or something.
Yes.
So I think that's what he motions the rest of us to do.
Yes.
Well, Shiva nods and begins.
Sorry, I was distracted. Could I have a repeat of what's going on?
Get onto the walkways.
Okay.
So as the lift moves up with Taran and Connell, the rest of us are climbing onto the walkways.
Yes.
Okay.
And there we go. You guys climb up, and in the meantime, Connell and Taran get up to the control booth. And, well, there's nothing of note on the walkway, but you at least get up there. But in the control booth, when you get in there, you see two men who are already very dead, extremely torn to pieces, shredded sort of ish, lying on the floor.
Wait, can we actually see the men even though we're in the Umbra?
Yeah, they are in here with you.
Okay.
When you get closer, you can see that they are probably for more like the ones you fought outside.
Oh god, our enemy subscribes to the school of killing your minions. Like, you have disappointed me. Strangle.
Well, these weren't strangled. These were torn by claws and
Apology accepted, Captain Nita.
Claws and fangs. There are a lot of buttons in here. Somebody's typing.
Ha!
I think Connell looks to Taran and in his usual Krinos voice asks, which button do I press, Taran?
Taran starts looking around.
Whoever is typing, please turn off your microphone while you do so. It's noisy.
Too late.
Okay. So, yeah. Taran, what do you answer?
She starts looking around
Yeah.
because it's kind of important to not have him press the self-destruct button.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these things, it's pretty clear that this is a fairly high-tech thing, and probably requires at least some training to use correctly.
And I look for the manual.
There isn't one.
Damn it.
You would probably estimate on off the top of your head there's something like 500 different buttons or things or knobs you can turn or levers you can pull, so on in this control booth.
It's like a very big airplane cockpit.
Yes, pretty much.
But they're always labeled, all of them.
Shall we Google it?
Well, basically what you're looking for is like a readout or something, right? So we can tell
Exactly.
if everything is as it should be.
There should be screens if it's...
There are a couple of screens.
Then I start hacking the system to find out what the hell is going on.
All right, we need a roll for that.
Does she actually have to hack it? Like, we're inside, right?
I don't have their access stuffs.
Yeah, but I'm asking Joan if it's required that she hack anything,
Yes,
because
it is.
we're in the control room.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
She doesn't have passwords, and even if she doesn't know what commands to actually use.
That's a good point. So anyway, like, no matter how she approaches it, a computer's test might be in order.
Precisely.
That's that and that. My difficulty is too lower.
Yeah. So your difficulty is 6.
That means 2.
Wow, very nice. Yep. Actually, it means 1, because you rolled a 1 as well.
Ah!
So that's
Well done.
still one success.
Yep.
It means that you get through the password and you manage to get a readout of the system, which reports that that all systems are functioning at the required parameters, and that It says that infusion is 20% complete. 21. 22.
But where is the infusion happening?
You can't tell. It doesn't say where.
Usually say tank 1, tank 2, tank 5.
There's only one. According to this, there's only one tank. Apparently the double vat outside is simply a closed, or not a closed circuit, but it is a circuit where it pumps from one to the other in order to mix.
I'll try to shut it down.
All right.
Make it stop functioning.
Yes.
I'll try to find the pure.
Does anyone in that room have? Does anyone in the room presently have common sense?
What's
That's a good one, Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
someone should certainly tell the others to maybe go out and try to do something manually. Like just cutting the connection between the two, but we don't know exactly what's going on.
Well, give me another computer roll.
Yeah, I'll try something else because that is annoying.
What is annoying?
The thingy where you have to check everything yourself. What's the difficulty with my computer attitude?
Now that you're in, the difficulty is for you is 5.
That's a lot easier.
Yep. Wow. Very nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I just took the noses and added the extra I have.
Yeah. So yes, you are you are able to stop the system cold.
Nice job.
You are also able to avoid the 2 traps that are laid in the system. That require an override both times in order to not simply deadlock the system and continue the infusion until completed.
Holy shit, that's 5 successes. I hadn't even noticed that.
Exactly, that's 5 successes. That's why.
Wow.
So you bypass both of them completely in your attempt, and you also manage that there is another system that you don't know what it does, but there is another system which was supposed to run upon completion of the infusion, but you don't know what that is.
Probably something releasing the shit back into Liffey.
Joan, is there any physical effect to this, such as systems powering down or anything that might...
Yes, you can hear there's been a slight sound in the background like a pump, but it's been, it's not something you really notice until it stops.
So I'm assuming like the factory floor grows really quiet for us?
Yes, it does.
Like,
She basically stopped the big pump thing in the middle.
Very nice.
So Connell puts out a hairy fist. Fist bump.
Yeah, she fist bumps him.
Good work, I think. Maybe. Are we in the clear?
I hope. They already got 21% of the water polluted.
Well, last I checked, 21's better than 100, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm still a little reluctant to pour it back into Liffey. We have to find out what to do with it. She goes to the window.
Yeah.
Can she see the others standing out there?
Yeah, she can.
She breaks the window.
Okay.
So, what do we do with it now?
Don't know, I think it powered down.
Yeah, it did. I basically stopped it from polluting the water.
Fucking excellent job.
But they already got 20% of it done.
Aaron shares a look with the rest of the group.
Can we
Another
filter
100.
somehow?
Repeat that, please.
Can we filter somehow? Wait, can we clean it up with noses, maybe?
Maybe the
We
facility.
should be able to.
Taron,
Eh,
can you check if the facility can filter the pollutants back out again?
of course. She goes back to check.
There are water filters in the plant, but what you realize as you're checking this, I'm going to let that go on the 5 successes as well. What you realize is that these filters are actually what is causing the pollution. The filters are adding the pollution, not taking it out.
Aaron?
Yeah, I hear you.
They have filters,
Mm-hmm.
but they are the ones adding it.
Are you saying that if we replace the filters, we could do it?
If we find something not tainted,
Alright. Could you lock down the system so no one tries to pull any funny business? Then we'll...
working on it.
Okay. Then get back down here. We'll go through the facility, see if we can find any usable filters, see if we can do this. If we can't do it fast enough, we're simply gonna have to break the tanks open and pray.
Taryn gets one of her spiders and attempts to lock down the system.
There's huge echo now. Let's try again. Something about just... Yeah.
Taryn will lock the system, so
Yeah.
she's the only one who can access it.
Yeah. All right. Well, you go to you check you lock the whole thing down, as you said. That's not a problem. You can do that without any difficulty. I'm assuming you're resetting the password at the same time to something you know what is, and then
Chorus.
yeah.
And alerts and stuff if people try to get in.
Yeah. You can, as you do that, I need to ask, does Connell do anything?
Connell watches Terran's back, meaning he'll be standing facing the entrance.
Yeah. The thing you notice, incidentally, when you do that is that, well, when you guys walk out of there, you're gonna probably leave some bloody footprints because the two guys lying on the ground, they have several major leakages. And it's kind of spilled out all over the floor. But nobody seems to have left the room before because there are no bloody footprints leading out.
Look up!
Actually, Connell does so, looking around the room to see if there are anyone in there with them.
Nope. Nobody up under the floor or anything either. Or under the floor, under the roof.
Terran,
or on the floor.
we may not be alone in here. Someone killed those two and no one left the room. Notice the distinct lack of any bloody footprints leaving this place.
Maybe they didn't get ugly.
Maybe.
Well, I did say that, as I said, immortality by another name, but as you probably also remember, I have ways of hearing and seeing what you are doing. And I have ways in and out of this place that you are unaware of.
I think we found the man who's still in here.
Terran, are you also hearing some boring old man yabber on about immortality, blah blah blah?
Does anyone hear that dead guy?
Yeah, I'm hearing him.
He's kind of chicken shit, isn't he?
It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah. Like those mosquitoes, they're always present in the summer. Oh, I hate them.
Yes, exactly like mosquitoes. Each of them easily swatted, but there are always more. And one of them might carry malaria.
Or it might not.
You're saying you have STDs?
Ew. Old man with STDs.
How droll.
So, why are you in here? She keeps working.
What are you in for?
Yeah.
Right now I'm observing you flail around like children, but then again, that's what you are.
Connell starts flailing his arms around.
Which That does look rather silly when he's in Krynos, but
Yeah.
very, very hairy semi-wolf thing flailing its arms around in a very childish kind of way.
He's the wacky wailing inflatable arm flailing Garou.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Of course, Aaron and the others can see this, but they don't know why he's doing it.
No. Unless they can hear
What's
what
Cuddle
the
doing?
dude's saying as well.
Aaron shares a confused look with you. I have the fuck.
It doesn't look like the Macarena.
That's perfect.
Oh well. I suppose I shall leave you to your good and noble deeds, you utter imbeciles. I will see you later.
Yakety yak.
Can the rest of us hear that guy?
Yes, he's on the intercom.
Oh!
That was why I asked before, or mentioned before, that it crackled to life.
So you probably know
Aaron
why
starts tampering with the electronics, seeing if she can see an irregularity in the electricity stuff.
Well, you shut off the what's it called, the generator outside.
But he doesn't show on
Nope.
the intercom or stuff like that.
They're in the walls, man. They're in the fucking walls.
Obligatory aliens reference.
Aaron frowns, but she doesn't say anything.
So, how stupid is this guy anyway, expecting us to give up on destroying one part of their plans just because they have other plans?
No.
Are we against them or not?
You just don't understand. He's from a different generation, right? Like, we
Gives
get
up at everything?
our villains are inspired by like Netflix and great writers and great authors, right? He grew up on like his reintroduction to the world has been like Snidely Whiplash, so he's kind of like in a different generational set of mind when it comes to the whole serving the worm thing.
Well, still a fucking idiot.
So, shall we go find the stuff?
The stuff what? We just find the stuff and do stuff to the stuff.
Exactly. Just put your stuff in the stuff. It works.
Confused. I'm so fucking confused.
Just put your stuff in this. I'm not gonna.
I might add, she's.
It's not
She
working.
said, "Don't put your stuff in the stuff."
Oh, I heard just put your stuff in the stuff.
Yeah, me too.
It doesn't seem to be working. Well, have you tried putting your dick in it?
Oh god.
Well,
Alright,
considering all the plug and play Terran's been doing.
Oh my.
Oh my. Okay, guys. So, what do you do now?
Provided that
We
we're
can't-
not. What did you say, AJ?
We can't really do anything about a disembodied voice. So we might as well work with what we have at hand.
I agree. I think the plan is to, working from our non-existent knowledge of water purification plant layout and procedures, try to find out if we can replace the filters and purify the water, and then break the tanks open and let Liffy eat them up via normal water flowing into the ground, osmosis, whatever thing. Or if we can't do that, simply have to say, okay, 21 is gonna cut it, and then just, roll the dice and see if Liffy dies.
Also, Connell looks to Sharon. Hacker check. Would you be able to see if there are any other of this old dude with STDs plans connected to this one?
She lifts the brow. How?
You're the hacker chick, not me.
I can see what this plant is doing,
Well, maybe.
but I can't really see the rest.
I don't know.
The idea is good, though. Thanks.
There's like a 3-ring binder propped up against the wall with a sticker on it saying, "My evil plans 2015 to 2020.
That would be nice.
I look around for that binder.
There's a subfolder on one of the computers that you've just hacked saying ideas for monologuing at Heroes.
She opens that folder. What he just said to them.
It's empty, I'm afraid. No, seriously.
She writes on what he just said.
There's a dictaphone and like a pamphlet on public speaking.
Yes. Now,
what she should write is,
what happens?
"I'm a little baby."
What happens now?
Yeah.
Is while you are standing there, sorry to say it's, but dicking around, you all have a very strange sensation, like a very brief, maybe 3 seconds, where it feels like the earth is shaking very slightly under your feet, or the building, or something, but there's a tremor. There's a distinct tremor. It lasts for about 3 seconds. It's not very violent, but it's there.
Oh, this is going to be shit.
I'm going to claim Taran, that's from USA, is thinking, earthquake,
Yeah.
and doesn't do anything else about it.
I am going to say that Aaron has watched Jurassic Park, so he's gonna look for a window to see the 18-story dinosaur looking like a Nexus crawler coming up on the building.
No, there is no such thing. You can open the door. There are no windows, but you could open the door and peek out.
Okay, well, working from the assumption again that this shaking doesn't translate into suddenly something awkward and immediately requiring our immediate attention happens, then we try to figure out if we can do the plan.
Well, I think if we can do so, we should try to secure the water. I don't know, hijack some trucks or whatever to get it away and purify it with noses, even if it takes us days to get it done.
But Fenna, it's 13 truckloads.
Yeah, the problem is the number of people we have, right? We can't realistically transport the water. We're gonna have to leave half of it, which isn't gonna fly, in my opinion.
Okay, but I'd rather us purify half of the water than us, and letting the rest of it go out, than us letting all of it out unpurified.
Would Taran be able to purify the water they have in here?
Well, yeah, we've established that you could do that.
With the noses.
And
then just break it all so it floats away.
You wouldn't be able to purify it on your own. It would require a lot more noses than you have.
Also, didn't we establish last time that would require like the right?
Yes.
Yeah, if we could perform a ride around it, that would probably work. But
does anyone know any rights?
On the way down with the lift.
Not the right of purification.
Taran is muttering, I should really listen more when they're talking about rights.
Well, so I guess the standing question to you, storyteller, is can we and do we succeed in finding new filters and reversing the water purification process?
No.
Okay. In that case, the question is again up in the air. What do we do with the leftovers then?
Out of game, is it really necessary for us to pump this water back into Liffey? Because all in all, 13 truckloads. I don't imagine that's a whole lot in the grander scheme.
But they're still part of her.
It doesn't really matter. If they stay here, they're gonna just pollute it and then fill it out again.
Could blow up the plant.
We absolutely could.
I have a question, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the water is still part of Liffey, does it matter then that it's not, that it's separate from her? It's being polluted and it's still part of her. Does the distance even matter?
Well, they were going to pump it back into the Liffey, so my guess is yes.
She said if the pollution happened and they put it back into her, she'd die.
I think that the best approach to this is to approach it from as good as we're able, an in-world perspective. So, Joan, is there something we could do or roll to get an indication of what way of approaching this would be best?
Yes, there is actually.
Is my common sense tingling?
I think your common sense just might be, but let me check something in a hurry.
If it matters, we can combine our common senses.
Please roll intelligence plus science.
All of us?
Remind me, if you don't have a knowledge, you can't roll it, right?
Exactly.
Cool.
I have science.
What if I have science, but my specialty isn't applicable?
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. This is basic stuff. So yeah.
It's science.
Yes.
Yeah, a specialty is just that, right?
Yeah.
You can roll on it again. 10s, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have science, so
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is. I'd say difficulty is 5.
you have temporary willpower, guys.
And that's 1.
1.
Wow.
Good. And. Yeah, 1 and 1. All right. Well, the point is that water, even when we use it, us normal people, when people use stuff to, do the dishes or wash clothes or flush the toilet or whatever, in 50 years' time, that water will have run through enough layers of dirt and ground and to rejoin the groundwater. Basically, that's the point. You should be able to spill this, as long as you don't spill it into the Liffey, you can spill this, and by the time it'll actually go into the ground, or far enough to become part of the Liffey again, it would have been cleaned.
Gaia will heal the waters.
Exactly.
That is so cool.
Okay, how far are we from the Liffey?
You are about a couple of miles in, actually. Actually, more like a mile, but yes, that's far enough.
I object to the use of miles. Stupid system.
Same.
Actually, yeah, I object to that too.
All right, a kilometer and
Let's
a
use a
half.
proper system.
Oh, fuck all of you.
No, it's a stupid system.
Have a cookie.
No, man, we're gonna
Thank
stay
you.
with imperial, because metric is all divisible by 10. It's a square system for square grey suits.
Anyway,
Fuck the
It's
man.
not square. Squares rely on not tens.
Taran looks at Fenna.
Flips table.
And then she goes, let's wreck this place so nature can fix it.
All
What
of
do you
it.
mean?
All of it.
We're just gonna spill all the water.
We're gonna
No.
spill all the water and make sure this shit can't be used again. Taran
It'll
smiles
be a long time
widely.
before it makes its way back to Liffey, but when it does,
But it'll be clean.
Alright, let's spill it.
Yay! I
So how?
imagine 6 Kranos people going amok on these tanks.
Yeah, I was
But,
gonna say, when
we are
you
going
asked
to-
how.
We're going
Sorry.
to need a way to let the water down to actual ground, because I imagine the tanks are on concrete or something.
Well, yeah. Taran will make sure that the pollution that's being added
Yes.
won't be spilled as well.
Good. Well, you have an idea by now which pipes that stuff is being pumped through.
Alright. Then we need a hole so the water can get into the ground.
I'm imagining, and now correct me if this is divorced from your understanding of the world, Joan. I don't think it is, but this is my understanding is, in Kreenos, we'll be able to tear through steel tanks just by trying. It's gonna take a variable amount of time based on the thickness, but we'll just get through it.
Basically, what you will do is a Hulk smash, and you will beat them long enough and hard enough for them to start to buckle, and then you can pull them apart.
Yeah, and our claws are gonna go through them quite easily.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Well, strictly, yeah, they will. They will.
So nobody's going to go, I broke a nail.
Right, because armor doesn't work against
No, exactly.
AC damage unless it's.
I guess we can punch through the concrete then as well, or not necessarily punch, but dig.
So I'm imagining like you guys wrecking, like starting to wreck the tank as Connell and I start tearing up the floor, chunk by chunk.
Isn't it easier to make holes in the wall
Well, that depends on...
so the water can flow out?
Yeah, it could, but I wasn't under the impression that the grounds surrounding the facility were any less covered in concrete and tarmac than the insides.
It isn't, and even if it was, you need the water always runs the easiest way, which is down. So you need to make sure that it would actually be running downhill in order to get outside. It's easier to just make a hole in the floor in here.
All right.
When you have the strength that you guys do, it's the easiest solution.
So Taryn starts pointing out the stuff they can rip apart so they don't get the pollution out.
Yeah. Well, what happens is you get the floor is torn up.
Yay.
Incidentally, none of you have actually seen the Scrags or heard from them since you came here. But the you tear up the floor, and the rest of you rip the what are they called? The tanks, the vats to pieces. Water begins to spill out, and I need a soak roll from everyone who works on the vats.
Are we going to try to soak up the water?
No. Very funny.
Nice job.
I imagine Shiva would be working on the floor.
Yes. Well,
Taryn will probably work on the vats because she's supposed to help find out where they can rip stuff apart.
I mean, I'm imagining we're working sequentially, right? Unless every one of us has suddenly grown very stupid, right? It's gonna be some of you figuring out how best we destroy the tanks while the rest of us tear up the floor.
Yeah,
and when the floor has been torn up, then we make, okay, let's break the tanks and then get out of here before the building explodes with water pressure and drowns us.
Okay, so everyone is involved in tearing the vats open. All right,
At least Finna wouldn't start before the floor had been ready.
True. So
That makes sense.
that makes sense. So everybody, please roll a soak.
So is that just stamina or?
Yeah.
It's stamina. And remember what shape you're in.
Oh yes, I am.
None.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, you don't subtract the one. It's a soak roll.
I wonder if I would have changed it to trainers to better deal with all of this destroying shit.
You should decide before rolling.
Yeah.
I kinda had to because
Yeah.
Hispo don't have fingers.
Exactly.
Alright, so I'm up to 4.
And a Hispo feuding is ugly.
I think
5.
Finna would have changed shape.
Oh shit.
Big village.
I'm also going to dare and venture the guess that I have healed at this point, by the way.
Is the difficulty 6?
Yeah. Difficulty 6.
That was unfortunate, but I made it with one, at least.
Well, you have one at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one at least.
No, you have 3 because again you don't subtract ones from a
I don't.
from a soak roll.
Um,
And that also means
I don't-
Aaron has 4.
Yeah.
Chris, I think you did it wrong.
Yeah, it did.
I'm trying to roll it, but I don't have it the way you're doing it. So I'm roll it the normal way, but do I add anything?
You roll 60 and what? Not one.
Nothing to pull much.
Okay. But what do you think there?
You open the dice roller.
Yes.
Yeah, and you say roll.
60,
Choose
10.
D10. Yeah, exactly. 6 D10.
There you go.
That's 2 successes from Tally. All right. Fenna rolls.
Oh, sorry, that was
you'd
just
already-
messing around.
Yeah,
That's-
you don't. All right. So, what the hell is that sound?
Rasmus, please
That's
get your
Rasmus.
phone out of here.
How have you lived with him for this many months of him having that sound and that known?
it speaks to Joan's innocence that she doesn't just immediately flinch and just look around with hatred burning in her eyes. That she hasn't played League of Legends enough to know Timo's laughed.
No, I haven't. All right, guys, I need to focus here.
Yep.
We have Fenna and we have Taryn with 1 success. We have Tally with 3. Everybody else has... Tally with 2. Everybody else has 3 or more successes.
Right, Fenna is on 3, right? Like, because she's rolling double ones.
Yeah, so everybody else is on 3 or more.
Yeah.
So, Taryn... That's true. Taryn is on 1, and Tally is on 2, and Fenna is on 3. So
3.
Yes. All right, you needed to soak 3 health levels of aggravated damage.
Ow. Pain.
So, and this is from when the water spills out. It covers, or it hits. You can't avoid getting hit by the shit on your arms and on your legs. What makes the difference is that some of you manage to resist the nastiness, and then you get out of the way in a fucking hurry.
Fenna made it, right?
Yeah, Fenna made it.
Yeah.
So it's 1 health level of Aggie damage for Tally and 2 health levels of Aggie damage for Taryn.
Excuse me just a second. I'm gonna quickly type in something to chat and it might not work, so this means nothing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no. Never mind.
Okay. So, that is the situation. And everyone, from that point, well, basically the water is spilling out. You can see it's got this very nasty greenish, blackish tinge to the water. It certainly doesn't really look like water anymore.
Yuck.
It smells absolutely revolting. And yes, it burns like acid when it hits you.
Yeah, so making sure everyone gets out of here okay is gonna have to be a thing. And then, unless I'm, and then Aaron is going to vote that we get the fuck out of here and fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get to the door, all of you, and just as you run out, this is the hero shot of the lot of you rushing out from the plant of evil and horror. You just as you get outside, you have another of these 3, maybe 4 second shakes, tremors. It's powerful enough this time that you can tell that some of the ruined buildings that are around, most of them are obviously ruined from when the humongous Nexus crawler walked away and made everything shake. But that thing is nowhere in sight, and this is a different. It's not like a footfall or anything. It's different kind of. It feels different. The tremor feels different. Some of the damaged buildings kind of shake and parts of the walls come apart.
Is this like Gaia's gag reflex?
There's no way of knowing, obviously. But you all feel it very distinctly.
All right. Well, time to get the fuck out.
Indeed.
Have the outside...
We probably shouldn't run underneath the buildings if they are prone to collapsing.
No, I don't think so either. I think we'd actually be best suited just getting out of immediate threat and then using one of you guys as mirrors to jump ship back into the Tellurian.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Because in my mind, like, this place, like, we've invited, by messing with this particular hornet's nest, right, we've invited this to become a sinkhole of Bane activity. So maybe escaping through the Umbra might be inviting trouble. Joan?
Very good point, yes.
The guards that we left alive on the perimeter, have they stayed and waited for us to come back out, or have they left?
There are no guards when you get outside.
Wonderful. In that case, I'm imagining we just literally up and leg it. Just get out of there.
Yeah. As you move down the road, you see one of the guards that you left outside. He's at least, obviously he didn't stop long enough to see individual facial features on them, but he's dressed in the same way as the rest of them.
Recognizable as a guard.
Yes. He's lying on the ground, and he's dead.
He paid the price for failure. That didn't come through very clearly at all.
That's because I muted my own.
Okay.
That might have been either of them.
How far away is he?
How far away is what?
The dead thing.
From the plant? Or
From
you?
us, I think.
From us.
Well, you come across it as you run down the road and you find him behind one of the burned out vehicles.
How did he die?
Well, from the looks of it, he's bled out.
Did he get ripped to pieces? Did he get bitten into? Was he ripped?
Well,
Cut? Shut?
do you stop and actually investigate him in detail?
She stops to see what killed him.
Yeah.
So if it's not immediately obvious, I'm imagining you keep moving.
It's not immediately obvious.
She wants to know whether there's someone else hunting us than just the fuckers we just ran away from.
There's Alistair, right?
Yeah, but why would he kill them?
For failing. They were to guard the facility and we entered.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why kill your own people?
Because it's the worm and it's an unequivocal, irredeemably evil entity working on destructive impulses.
Still makes no sense.
No, that's the point.
I'm sad to say Aaron has the right of it here, that the worm doesn't act logically.
So basically, because it's the evil thing to do.
Because it's the most
He
destructive.
Darth Vadered them.
Imagine
it's
for
the
You
most-
didn't do a good job. You're now promoted.
Imagine
it's
for a
the-
moment if you... Oh, go on, Joan.
Because it is the most destructive thing to do. That is the benchmark.
Well, that's
Imagine, if
awfully
you will,
short-sighted.
that this game was designed to portray people sticking it to the man in a very cheesy, grimdark 80s kind of corporate overstructure fashion.
Yes.
With the super text being, the big bad corporations are bringing down Mother Earth, man. Let's fight the power, yo, with peace and love and bazookas. That's the vibe this game was written with. Now, with that in mind, remember that this is the frame of mind that spawned the villain of the game, okay?
Yes.
So, very evil for no readily apparent reason aside from kill, maim, destroy.
Oh my god, we are fighting Captain Planet villains.
Yeah.
I'm happy I don't know who that is.
I don't remember
Remember
them either, I just
Captain
remember they're hilarious. Alright,
So-
He's a hero. He's gonna bring pollution down to zero.
Oh, stop it!
Can we kick her from the call?
No.
Let's have a brief break. I think it's just past.
yeah, I think that's a good idea. So let's just grab a break and we'll be right back with more Song of Tara. We'll find out what happens now. But we'll find out after the break, so
Yes.
yeah, see you then.